What is going on, YouTube? My name is Zubat. Welcome to my channel. On July 23rd, 2020, Seattle officially announced that they would be revealing their logo and their jerseys and officially calling themselves the Seattle Kraken. Now, there's a lot of debate up in the air on, their name, stuff like that. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people like it. I personally think it's pretty cool. But today, we will be taking the Seattle Kraken in NHL 20, and we will be doing the expansion draft, and we will be trying to win a cup with this team. I'd say within the first 5 years, give or take. Now, this is my first time ever doing a rebuild video on my channel. I've watched a ton. I've played NHL since I was a kid. So bear with me. There might be a little hiccups. There might be a little bit of mistakes. But I hope that you guys enjoy. And let's get started.
Yeah, nightmares keep haunting me. Being at the top is never guaranteed. Last thing I want is a nominee. Wanna stack up awards like 1, 2, 3. Keep calm and relax, I'm supposed to be.
So here we have the Seattle Kraken. Now, I had a ton of issues with this team trying to get the jerseys to look exactly like they had. I'll show them on screen right now. The thing about it was I couldn't quite get the colors to match the logos. I had issues with the logos too. I couldn't get the S that they shown. There was no anchor logo, stuff like that. Their third logo was also their name spelled out, so obviously I couldn't do that. However, I kind of made do with what I had. Obviously, I changed their name to the Climate Pledge Arena. But if we take a look at it, I'll show you the logos here. We have the S as the main logo. It kind of looks similar to their main logo, but obviously doesn't have the eye and the crack and stuff like that. Like I said, there was no anchor, so I ended up doing like the wheel of an old, ship. And then the logo, the third logo, I ended up using this ship. Now, I'll show you guys the jerseys. The jerseys I'm not overly satisfied with, but they're not too bad. They'll do the job. So here's our home jersey. Here we have the away jersey. And the alternate was kind of just something that I wanted to mess around with and kind of have fun with. So this is my rendition of their alternate jersey. As you can see, I went with black. I didn't really want to go with the dark greenish blue again, so I went with the black more than anything. So this is our team, the Seattle Kraken. This is the arena here. We're going to go ahead and save now. And we're going to get it kicked off with the expansion draft. Okay, so we're going to go ahead here and start. Obviously, we're going to choose Seattle. Now, I think I'm going to put Seattle in the Pacific Division because, that's what is expected. And then I'm going to move Arizona over to the Central Division just because Arizona obviously is more of a central, team. All right. So let's move the Seattle Kraken over to the Pacific Division and swap them out for Arizona. Now let's go ahead and continue. We're going to turn owner mode off. I don't really want to focus on, stuff like that. I'd rather just focus on building the team. Add contract year, I am going to turn this on just for the first year so that way we don't have that issue. Salary cap is obviously going to stay on. GM firing, we're going to turn off. Head coach edits lines. This will determine how much the CPU manages the roster for your user team. No, we're going to turn that off. Fog of War is going to stay off. Player morale is also going to stay off. CPU trades will stay on. Auto owner mode will turn off, except relocation off. Auto sign free agents off, and auto staff management we're going to turn on just because I don't really want to focus really on the staff. I want to focus more on just building the team and simming the team itself. So Seattle Kraken. For rules, we're going to change the rules up a bit. Let's go through here. So we're going to turn the game style up to full sim because we're going to be full simming all these games. Injuries we're going to turn off. Period lengths we're going to set to 20 minutes. We're just going to set everything to most realistic as possible just so that way, it sims as realistic as possible. Auto sign free agents will keep off. Franchise mode length, we'll just keep it 25. Who knows how long this is going for. Hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully we can continue doing stuff like this because I really like NHL. I really like rebuilding, stuff like that. So salary cap will stay on. Trade difficulty will keep on medium. Waivers will keep on, except relocation off. Fog of War off. Is there anything else here? Auto scouting on both. Auto staff management on both. Perfect. We're going to keep that how that is. Try and keep it as realistic as possible. I'm not going to mess with the gameplay sliders. Gameplay sliders will stay the same. Advanced settings. Head coach edits lines. No. Auto rotate goalies on. Add contract year on. Sim engine scoring. We're going to put it on high instead of medium. I just find that medium doesn't have enough scoring. The rest should be all the same. So we're going to leave it at that. And let's get on with the expansion draft for the Seattle Kraken. So here we are in the first year with the Seattle Kraken. We're going to advance to the expansion draft. Excited to see what players come up. I usually have a general sense of who comes up, but we're going to find out here shortly. Detroit actually wins the draft lottery. They move from 5 to 1. New Jersey also moves from 4 to 2. The Rangers 7 to 3. That's a good jump for them. Colorado drops to 4. That's unfortunate. I mean, that's still a top pick, even though with that Duchesne trade. LA drops from 2 to 5. We drop from 3 to 6, so that's going to be a little rough, but that's okay. It doesn't seem like there's really any other jumps there. 3 to 6 is rough, but we'll make do with what we got there. And now we're at the expansion draft. Let's get into it. We're going to start it off with Anaheim here. Let's see who's available for Anaheim. We're going to sort by potential, I think, just because it seems like everyone else is lower. By the way, I am on the most up-to-date rosters. It is, at the time of recording, it is July 23rd, which means that whatever roster has been out most recently, that's what roster I'm playing on. I don't have any creative players. I don't have anything like that. So that's what we're working with here. So available right now, looks like we have Max Jones, top 6 medium, 75-21. He doesn't pan too much, though, in this game. That's my only problem. However, we got Jacob Larson, top 4 medium defenseman, 78-22, 2 years left on that entry-level deal. Brandon Gould as well, 76-21, 2 years left on his deal. So really, we're not in a bad spot here. I feel like defense are more valuable than offense in the expansion draft, so I think I'm going to go with Jacob Larson just because of the 2 overall higher. So if we do need to play, then I think we can. Let's go on to Arizona now. Sort by potential again. Arizona doesn't have a whole lot. They got Carl Soderberg on that $4.75 million deal. That's a lot. Alex Goligoski, that's a lot too. Jason Demers is not a bad choice. Lawson Krause isn't a bad choice either. Lawson Krause is honestly probably what I'm going to go with, just because top 9 high compared to top 9 medium, the age difference, and he's still the same overall. And 1.5 for 4 years isn't too bad. So we're going to take Lawson Krause from the Arizona Coyotes. Next up, we have Boston. Now, Boston, we're going to sort by potential as well. Zenshin, 72-22, top 6 medium. 72 is kind of low for 22 years old. Andre Kasha is not a bad choice. 2.6 for 3 years, 82. He's only 23, so he still has time to grow as well. Sean Corrali is already 26, so he'll only have this year to grow. Brandon Carlo, top 4 medium defenseman, 81 overall, 22, and on 2.85 for 3 more years. I think we're going to go Brandon Carlo. That's a really, really solid pick. He's still got a lot of time to grow. Top 4 medium defenseman also grows not too bad as well. Next, we're moving on to Buffalo here. We picked 2 forwards, or 2 defensemen, 1 forward. On Buffalo, Buffalo's an interesting team to pick from. If we sort by potential, we got Okposo, but of course he's 81 overall, making $6 million for another 5 years. So we're going to pass on that one. Same with Frolik, just too expensive. Now, Wayne Simmons, he's on that half deal that was at the deadline, because he was making $5 million, and then New Jersey retained 50%. That wouldn't be a terrible choice. 2.5 for 2 years. 81, you know, he's a tough guy kind of thing. Takes a lot of penalties. A lot of penalties, but he's got good defensive awareness, good shot blocking, good stick checking. You know, not too bad of a choice. Jake McCabe, 81, 25, 2.85 for 3 more years. Medium top 4, so he's got that 1 year kind of to grow. Gergensons, I think we'll pass on Gergensons. He doesn't really pan out too well. Johan Larsson, he's a bit there too. You know, now we're going down lower into the exact potentials. Let's check the goalies out, see what they have for goalies. They got Carter Hutton and Andrew Hammond. I don't think I'm going to go with any of those, really. So I think from Buffalo, I think the safe play is just to take Jake McCabe. Now, we're already at 3 defensemen, so we can afford to kind of expand our options a little bit. We got Jacob Larson, Lawson Krause, Brandon Carlo, and Jake McCabe. So we'll go on to Calgary. I know Giordano's usually available, and he is. So is TJ Brody, Backlund, Hamonic, Anderson. If you guys don't know, Calgary is my favorite NHL team, so I like a lot of these players. If we go to the goalies, Cam Talbot's there, 2.75, 81, only 2 years. Wouldn't be a terrible backup goalie. John Gillies will take a pass on. I wouldn't mind Rasmus Anderson, but he has that extension already for 4.5 for 6 more years. He is only a 22 years old, top 4 medium. I think what we should probably go with in this situation is probably Michael Backlund. We already have a lot of good defense that could pan out to be not too bad. Giordano wouldn't be bad if we picked him up and used him for his trade value. However, I think we're going to take Michael Backlund, 83, 5.35, 6 years left. That's a lot of years left. I think actually what we might do is take Giordano for the trade value, and we might be able to move him and get someone else. So we're going to take Giordano from the Flames. Now we're moving on to Carolina. Carolina has a lot of defensemen available. You look, their top 6 players are all defensemen by potential. However, I'm probably going to take Hayden Fleury just because he's an elite potential and only 22 years old, and he has 2 more years still on that deal. So I think Hayden Fleury is probably the way to go. Let's check the goalies real quick just to make sure we're not missing out on anyone. 74-23. That's still pretty low overall for being 23 years old. So we're probably going to go with Hayden Fleury. We're going to have a lot of defensemen off the start here. As you can already tell, if we look over here, we already have 5 defensemen. So we need to start picking some forwards. The only forward we have right now is Lawson Krause, but that's okay. We still got lots of teams to pick from. So moving on to Chicago. From the looks of Chicago, they have a lot of defensemen too. They have John Quenneville, 75-23. He's extended for another year on a rookie deal, but 75 at 23 years old, that's kind of low overall still. There's Malcolm Subban if we want to take a starter, and I think we will go with Malcolm, or not starter, a backup, sorry. I think we will go with Malcolm Subban just because 80-25 and he's on a less than $1 million deal. Is a good backup goalie for us. Now let's move on to Colorado. Colorado, let's sort by potential as well. We got Valeri Nichushkin, 79-24. 2 years left on that deal. Top 6 medium potential. That's not bad. Jonas Donskoy, 3.9 for 5 years. I think we'll pass on that one. Zadorov could grow, but he's already making 3.2 only at 79 overall, and we have a lot of defensemen. Nemesnikov, he's going to pan out there, and he's making 3.2. So I think we're Kamenev, top 9 medium, though. Not the best potential. I think we're going to go with Nichushkin on this one. Nichushkin's a big guy, 6'4", 205. Not a bad player. He's got a good slap shot, actually. Good power on his shots. Good deking. Not too bad of a player. I think we'll go with Nichushkin on this one. He can play 4th line. Or if we get enough forwards, he might play 1st line AHL. Let's take a look at Columbus now. Going over to Columbus, let's look at potential. We got Josh Anderson, top 6 medium, 80-25. So he doesn't have a lot more growth left, but he does have a little bit of growth left. Nick Foligno, we're going to pass on. Nudivara, Carlson, Peak. Top 4 low, 75-21. That's not too bad. Let's check their goalies real quick. They do have Merzlikins. I don't want to run Merzlikins as a start. He's only 81-25. He won't grow too much left. They have this guy, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. That's a whole name in itself. 71-22 starter medium potential. That's not bad. That could have some trade value to it if we don't find anyone here that we're really interested in. As for forwards, it's not looking strong. We got Bemstrom. 76-20. He's got 4 years left on that deal. Top 9 medium. I mean, it's a chance. We could take a risk on him. I think we will. Let's take a risk on Bemstrom. 76-20. I've never picked him up before, so let's take a risk on him. And now let's go to Dallas. I usually like taking Gurionov here. 79-22, low elite. He's only 22 years old, and he could crack the lineup if we needed him to. And he's on less than $1 million for 2 years, so not a bad pick there. We could take Hudobin, but Hudobin's not the strongest of starters. Dickinson's not a bad choice either. Top 6 medium, 78-23, and he's on a 1.5 mil for 3 years, so that's not a bad choice either. Looking through here, nothing's really jumping out at me. I think we'll probably go with Gurionov. That's probably the safe pick. He could grow into something. Let's go over to Detroit now. Check the goalies first. Just as I expected, Jimmy Howard and Jonathan Bernier combined $7 million in cap. Detroit, you can enjoy that one. We're not going to pick them for you. On Detroit, potential-wise, we got Brandon Perlini, 78-23, and he's making under $1 million for 2 years. Not a bad choice. Adam Ernie as well, 77-24. He's getting a little older, though, but both players with top 6 medium potential. Not too bad. Timashov, 78-22, but top 6 low potential. Madison Bowie, 78-24, top 4 medium, making $1 million for 2 years. Not too bad as well. I'm thinking we're going to go with Brandon Perlini. I wouldn't mind Madison Bowie, but we already have a lot of defensemen. So let's go with Brandon Perlini on this one. Now we're moving over to Edmonton. Now Adam Larson is there if we do want a strong defenseman. Let's check the goalies real quick. Mike Smith is there. 83, 37, 2 mil for 2 years. I don't think I want to go with Mike Smith, though. As for Edmonton, we have James Neal. James, the real deal Neal. Know him all too well from Calgary. We have Adam Larson, 83, 26, making 4 mil. That's a solid defenseman, 83 overall. Mike Green, not too bad. Jujar Kyra, 78, 24, medium top 9. Not the best pick. Tyler Ennis, not too bad, too, 79, 29. Not anything jumping out at me right now. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot jumping out. I think what we might do is we might go with Adam Larson on this one. I think we're going to trade Mark Giordano for a forward, so we need some decent overall defensemen. So I think Adam Larson might do the job here. So let's go on to Florida now. Check the goalies like always just to check to see if anyone crazy's there, and it doesn't look like it. We'll pass on those two. As for Florida's players, we have Brett Connolly, 81-27, making 3.5 for 5 years. That's a pretty hefty contract for an 81 overall. Frankie Vetrano, 80-25, 2.5 for 4 years, top 9 medium. Not too bad. 2.5 isn't terrible. 75-23, top 9 medium. Not bad. Nola Chari is a pretty good pick just because of his contract. 1.6 mil for 4 years, 80-27. He could be a solid third or fourth line center for us, and I think we're going to go with Nola Chari on that one. Now we have the Los Angeles Kings. Let's take a look. Check their goalies real quick. I do not want Jonathan Quick. You guys can keep him as well. Check potential. Dustin Brown, 5.875 for 4 years. That's a little much for me. Sorry about that. Luff, not too bad. 75-22, top 9 low, though. Not great. Trevor Lewis, 79 overall. Joakim Ryan, 78-26. Nothing really crazy coming out of Los Angeles. I think we might go with Trevor Moore in this one. Just because I know it's bottom 6 medium potential, but he's the only one that can really grow out of this group. So I think we're going to go with Trevor Moore on that one. Moving over to Minnesota. We have Eric Stahl, 85-34, 3.25 for 3 years. That's not a bad contract for an 85 overall center. Alex Stalock's there as well, but we already have Malcolm Subban as a backup, so we don't need Alex Stalock. I wouldn't mind Jared Spurgeon, but he has that 7-year, $7.5 million extension. I don't really want to pay $7.5 million for an 84 overall defenseman first year. So let's keep taking a look here. We got Ryan Hartman, 79-24, top 9 medium. Not too bad. 1.9 for 3 years is pretty good, actually. We have Dmitry Sokolov. He's top 9 medium potential, but he's only 67 at 21, so I don't think we'll go with that. Victor Rask, $4 million for 79 overall center. We'll pass on that one. Anyone jumping out here at me doesn't really overly look like it. So from what we have to choose here, we have, I'm pretty sure, the obvious choice here in Eric Stahl. So I think we'll have our 1-2 center punch as Eric Stahl and then Michael Backlund. We'll go from there. Or no, I actually didn't take Michael Backlund. I forgot about that. So we have Nola Chari, a fourth line center, and then Bemstrom's a project to come up through the minors. I forgot we didn't take Backlund. We took Mark Giordano instead. Move on to Montreal now. Check the goalies real quick. Maybe Carey Price is here. He is not, unfortunately. Let's go by potential as well. We got Laurent Dauphin, 74-24, medium top 9. Joel Armia, 80-26, low top 9. We got Paul Byron. I'll pass on Paul Byron. That contract's too much. Brett Kulak might be able to crack the roster, but we already have a lot of defensemen. And then we're just looking at pretty much all defensemen until we get Blandisi, who's not the best potential. Probably won't grow for us. So I think we will probably take on this one Joel Armia, just in case we need a fourth line right winger. Big body, 6'3", 205. He can play defense, not too bad. So we'll take Joel Armia. Moving on to Nashville now. From the Nashville Predators, we got Calle Yarncroc here, 82-27, only making $2 million for 4 years. That's a really good deal right there. UC Saros isn't bad as well. I wouldn't mind picking up UC Saros, but we kind of need a goalie in those mid-80s just to get us through the first couple of years, or the first year at least. So it does kind of look like that we're going to probably take Calle Yarncroc. There's nothing really else coming out of Nashville that is standing out to me. So we're going to go with Calle Yarncroc from Nashville. Now that has us at 3 left wingers, Perlini, Moore, and Krause. Moore will be playing in the minors, so we only have 2 really to crack the roster. For centers, we also only have 2 centers to crack the roster in Achari and Stahl. For right wingers, we have Nichushkin, Guryanov, Armia, and Yarncroc, who could all play, but they're all around that 80 overall mark, besides Yarncroc, who's 82. So we need to get maybe some more prospects, maybe something more. I don't really imagine us pushing for the cup in the first year. I feel like we're going to be a rebuilder this first year. On defense, we have Larson, Carlo, McCabe, Giordano, Fleury, and Larson. We are going to trade Giordano, try and get someone on that front end to help us out. But Larson, both Larsons, Carlo, McCabe, and Fleury, not too bad. Not terrible. About that low 283 overall. So, nothing crazy there. Let's go over to New Jersey now. Check the goalies just in case Corey Schneider's available, which he is, and we're not going to take him. For potential, though, Travis Zajac, we're not going to take as well. Mirko Mueller, 78-24, only medium top 6, though. Connor Carrick, the same potential, 78-25, so he's a year older than Mueller, making $100,000 more. New Jersey, I wish we didn't have to pick from you, I'm going to be honest with you. Nothing really here is standing out for me at all. But we'll probably take Mirko Mueller just because he's a year younger than Carrick, making a little bit less, but he's still going to play in the minors, so it's not going to matter too much. Let's move over to the Islanders now. Ooh, Anthony Beauvillier is available. Okay, not bad, New York. Thomas Greiss is also available, 84. He's got 2 years left. That's not bad as well. Ooh, that's a tough one. Do I want Anthony Beauvillier? Because usually I think it's Pajot that's available. But Pajot's not here. Michael Dalcole's there, but he's 75-23, medium top 9. I think we're going to go with Anthony Beauvillier on this one. That's not bad. 82-22, low top 6, 2.1 for 3 more years. That's not bad at all. Let's go with Anthony Beauvillier. Now we're moving over to New York. Now the thing about the Rangers is that they don't have anyone that stands out for forwards. Their best potential player is Tyrone, but he's already only 67 overall. So I think we are going to take Libor, even though we have a lot of defensemen. He can play in the minors for a couple of years, and we'll get him to grow. Now let's go over to Ottawa now. Check the goaltenders as well. Craig Anderson, only 81 overall. I'm not willing to pay that contract, even though we do have a lot of cap space. Just don't want to run with Craig Anderson. So let's check the forwards and defensemen. Jace Holochuk, 78-23, low top 9. Not too bad. Artem Anisimov, big contract hit. Mikhail Bodker, big contract hit. Mike Riley, nothing too incredible there. Andreas Englund, nothing crazy there either. So we're probably going to go with Jace Holochuk. Only 78 overall, but we don't really have any other options. So let's go with Jace Holochuk. Let's move on to Philadelphia. Check the goaltenders for Philadelphia. We only got Alex Line. We'll pass on Alex Line. As for forwards and defensemen, we have Niskanen, who's making quite a bit of money, and we don't need defensemen. We got Scott Lawton. Scott Lawton's not too bad. 79-25, top 9 medium, only 2.3 mil. That's not too bad of a deal. As for that, though, there's really no one else that stands out. Samuel Moran's not bad. 77-23, top 6 mediums. Not the best potential, and we have a lot of defensemen already. So I think we'll pass on Moran. Yeah, we're not left with a lot of options for Philadelphia, so I think we are going to take Scott Lawton. Now let's move over to Pittsburgh. Check their goaltenders. Now we do have Tristan Jarry here, 83-24. He's got 2 years left on that entry-level deal. That's probably what we're going to go with here, Tristan Jarry. But if we didn't want to go with Tristan Jarry, we could go with Bukestad, 81-26, 4 mil, 3 years. 4 mil's a lot for Bukestad. Hornquist, 83, 5 mil for 5 years. Not terrible for Hornquist, but not the best either. Connor Sherry's not bad choice either. But after that, we got, Dominique Simon, 79-24, top 9 medium. He could grow into something. Same with Rodriguez. He's got a couple years to grow as well. Teddy Bluger also has a couple of years to grow as well, so he's not a bad choice. There's honestly some pretty decent choices in here, but I think we're going to go with Tristan Jarry just because of the fact that he's 24, 83, and he has that starter medium potential. So let's go over to San Jose now. San Jose also doesn't really have a lot of options here, usually. There's Martin Jones, but 5.75 for an 82 overall. I will pass on that one. Take a look here. Stefan Noensen, 78-26. He's going to stop growing this year. As for the rest of the players, there's really no one else here that I want. So we might take Stefan Noensen, just run him in the minors, because really we have no other choice. Let's go over to St. Louis now. St. Louis, let's check their goaltenders real quick. We have Jake Allen, who's making 4.3 at 81 overall. We'll pass on that one. Billy Husso's not bad, 74-24. That's a little low overall for his age, but he does have medium starters, so it's not terrible. But let's look at their forwards. We got Sammy Blaze, who's top 6 medium, 78-23. That is beautiful right there. 23 years old. He's high 70s, top 6 potential. That's a good choice right there. Alex Steen, making too much. Bozak, making too much. Derek Pouliot, he doesn't pan out. He's 77. He's already 25. So from St. Louis, we did take Sammy Blaze. He is only 78 overall, but he could play 4th line. And he does have top 6 medium potential. So not a bad choice there. Let's move over to Tampa Bay now. Now, Tampa Bay, let's check the goalies real quick. They have a lot of goalies. Condon, McElhaney, Wedgwood. Nothing there that really stands out to us. They're all just average. Let's check their skaters, though. We have Blake Coleman, 81-27. He's not going to grow anymore, but he's only making 1.8 over 3 years, which is not too bad. We do have McDonough. McDonough's another defenseman that we could trade with the trade value, or we could keep him. He is already 30 years old, but he's 86 overall, and 6.75 is not too bad for an 86 overall. Braden Coburn, he's on the edge of retiring, so we're not going to take him. Now, Anthony Cirelli, top 9 high, 81-21. We don't need centers, though, but we don't really need defensemen. That's our problem we're at right now. I don't want to take Barclay Goodrow or Cedric Paquette. It's really between Cirelli or McDonough. Do we take the high trade value, or do we take the guy that could grow? I think we're going to take McDonough just because he has that high trade value, or we could keep him. It's really up to us. Giordano and McDonough both have decent trade value, but they're also pretty high overall, so we could keep them too. Let's go to Toronto now. Toronto always has a few players that we can choose from in here. Let's check their goalies first of all. Jack Campbell, we don't need him. We don't need those goalies. So let's check Toronto now by potential. We got Andreas Janssen, 81-24. 3.185 for 5 years is expensive now, but in the future, not too bad realistically with medium top 6 potential. We also got Nick Patan. He's already 24 and only 76, so we're going to pass on him. We got Engvall here, 77-23, not too bad. Top 6 low, though. We got Zach Hyman, 81-27, 2 mil, not terrible. Jake Muzzin as well as one of those defensemen. He's only making 3.7, though, compared to McDonough, who's making almost double that for 1 overall more. But Muzzin is extended to 5.6, which is still cheaper than McDonough. But I think out of here, we got Kapanen, who's top 9, high. I think probably the best pick here is Andreas Janssen. We do need left wingers. He can play on the team now. So we're going to go with Andreas Janssen from Toronto. Next, let's go to Vancouver. Check their goaltenders like always. Now we have Thatcher Demco here, 80-23, medium elite potential. Now the thing about Thatcher Demco is he doesn't really pan out. We could take him as a backup behind Tristan Jarry and then move Subban down to the minors. But let's take a look at the forwards and defensemen that we have here on Vancouver. We have Tanner Pearson, who's low top 6, 81-26, so he's going to stop growing after this year. We got Michael Furlan. We got Chris Tanev, who's making a lot more than what he should. We got Nikolai Goldobin, 75-23, top 9 high. We got Josh Lievo, 80-26. Tyler Mott, 78-24, top 9 medium. Sven Barchi. You know what? I think we actually will go with Thatcher Demko on this one. And we'll run him as the backup, and then we'll put Malcolm Subban as our minor starter. Now, looking down at the bottom here, we need nothing really. We can kind of pick whatever from these last 2 picks. So let's take a look at Washington now. For Washington, let's check their goalies. Phoenix Copley, but he's backup, so we're not even going to bother with him. Now, Ilya Kovalchuk. I kind of like Ilya Kovalchuk due to the fact that he's on a $0.7 million for 2 years, and he's 83 overall, and of course, it's Ilya Kovalchuk. Look at his shot. That's all you need to see, right? Let's check their potential real quick. We got Daniel Sprong, 78-22, top 6 medium. So Daniel Sprong, he's also a sniper as well, and he's got a decent shot. Now, Daniel Sprong might be one of those long-term players that we might pick instead of Kovalchuk, seeming that the fact that we're probably not going to be a contender the first year, maybe the first 2 years, so Daniel Sprong might actually be the more wise pick over top of Kovalchuk. Siegenthaler, 77-22, top 4 low, not too bad as well. Brendan Dillon, pretty good for the contract that he has. Brandon Leipzig, no. Other than that, it's really between Kovalchuk and Daniel Sprong. So I think we're actually going to pick Daniel Sprong in this one, just due to the fact that we're not going to be contender the first 2 years. Daniel Sprong is only 22 years old. He's top 6 medium potential, and he's already got a shot on him. So we're going to go with Daniel Sprong on that one. And then the last one we have is Winnipeg here. Check Winnipeg's goalies just in case. They got Eric Comrie started low, and Laurent Brossoit, we're not interested. Let's take a look by potential here. We got Adam Lowry, top 9 high, 80-26, making 2.9. We got Andrew Kopp, 79-24, medium top 9. We got Michael Spacek, he's top 9 medium, 69-22. That wouldn't be a bad one. We got Cody Eakin here. We got Matthew Perreault, Dylan DeMello, Nathan Beaulieu. Nothing crazy to come out of Winnipeg. I think we might take a chance on Michael Spacek, 69-22. Top 9 medium. So if he has a good year in the AHL, if we play him on like the third or second line in the AHL, then, you know, he might actually have a chance to grow. So we're going to take Michael Spacek. And there you have it, folks. We have the Seattle Kraken now selected. So we're going to advance to the draft interviews. I'm going to skip through the draft interviews unless there's someone crazy that's supposed to go first, like Lou Wiseman, a guaranteed franchise medium. Oh, boy. Let's take a look here. So we got Lou Wiseman, Mike Calder, Rodney Legacy. These guys are guaranteed medium elites. This draft is looking kind of weak. Do we make a play for first overall? We could actually make a play for Lou Wiseman now that I think about it. He is a center, which will be nice. He's a sniper center. Interesting. Very interesting. Similar style of Wayne Gretzky. Wow. Maybe we do make a play for Lou Wiseman. Let's advance today. Let's get going to the draft. And let's try and make a deal for that first overall pick. So Detroit. We want Lou Wiseman. Now it's going to cost us a lot, but like I said earlier, we do have Ryan McDonough. We do have Giordano that we can throw in. So we're going to try and move up from our 6th overall pick. And I think we'll try and throw in Giordano. Let's see how that potential sits there. Or a trade value, rather. It's relatively close. I'm going to give it a shot just to see where we're at here. Trade rejected. Value is just not where it needs to be. Okay, so they're kind of close with it. So what if we toss in another pick, but not from this year? Let's try, like, actually, this draft does kind of seem low. Let's see if we can throw in a 3rd round pick and see where that gets us. Trade rejected. Woefully insufficient. How does it go from woefully insufficient when we add a pick? We'll try next year's 2nd. See what they say on that. Rejected. Just not where it needs to be. Okay, well, what if you take that 2nd plus this year's 3rd? Very rejected. All right, I'm going to come back when we find a deal here, guys. All right, guys, so I threw in Jace Hollerchuk on top of that just because Detroit seemed interested with him. So we have our 6th overall pick, Mark Giordano, Jace Hollerchuk, and our 2020 2nd round pick. So let's see if that goes through. Very rejected. It's still not going to go through. I think we might have to throw in another 1st on top of that. So let's try throwing in next year's 1st as well. See how that goes over. Still rejected. All right, I'll come back with another trade offer. All right, guys, so I tried everything I could. Detroit was just being finicky. I ended up offering them 3 first-round picks, plus Giordano, plus Libor Hajek, and they still said no. So I couldn't get Wiseman from them, unfortunately, but that's okay. Let's simulate up to our pick now. So before our pick, we had Wiseman go. He was an 82 overall sniper franchise, which sucks, but it's what we have to deal with. We got Calder, a 2-way defenseman, medium elite. We got Legacy, a left winger sniper. Oh, actually, Wiseman came out as a playmaker, not a sniper. I thought he was a sniper. Legacy, left wing sniper, medium elite. We got Tikhonov, offensive medium elite defenseman. And then we have 2 in the top 6 medium 2-way forward. So now it's our pick. I don't expect much out of this pick just because the first year draft is always pretty weak. We have Kovalev here. He's a guaranteed top 6 medium playmaker. We'll probably go with him. He is a center. Let's just check real quick if there is any gems and busts. I don't expect them to be any. There's one bust. That is it. Yes, that is it, which is expected. But let's sort by CS rank again. Oh, not by the bottom, please. All right. So I think we're going to go with Yuri Kovalev. He's a medium top 6 playmaking center from Russia. Similar style to Claude Giroux. I like that. NHL ETA is 3 years, which is perfect. That's when we're going to be looking to be a contender. So let's go with Yuri Kovalev. And just like it said, he is a playmaking center, top 6 medium forward. Not a bad pick overall. Not the best for 6 overall, but it's always a weak draft first year, so that's okay. So now we're on to the second round. Let's take a look at what we have available here. Any high potential players? We do have a 50-50 on Jaden Jenner and Riley Webb. Riley Webb, however, is not a game created, so I guarantee he's not medium elite. Do we have any low elites, though? Any guaranteed low elites? No guaranteed low elites either. Yikes. Any guaranteed? No, we have no guarantees left. That's terrifying. Well, I know this draft is always weak first year. Let's look at Jaden Jenner. He's supposed to go 49th and 51st. What do we have in round 3? Can we don't have our 3rd round pick apparently? Oh yeah, we do right there. We might be able to get him in the 3rd round. But there's really no one else to pass up on him for. So I think we're going to go with Jaden Jenner here. He's a goalie from the States, 6'2", 201. Let's take a chance on him. Look at that. He is a medium elite. Only 47 overall, but he is a medium elite, which is perfect. So that his trade value is going to be up, which is an awesome pick. Awesome pick. Let's send to our 3rd round pick here. Let's take a look. All right, so we have Nolan Hutchinson. We have Nando Eggenberger. And Taro Gents from Germany. What a cool name. Gents. Now let's take a look by potential. We do have Riley Webb, but I guarantee he won't be a medium elite. I'm willing to take a chance on some 50-50s on low elites. Maybe? Take a look. This guy's supposed to go 65th overall. Two-way defenseman. We have a grinder here. Jayvon Hutchinson. Nothing crazy out of here, though. And then we have another defenseman. Let's take a chance on Jayvon Hutchinson. He's supposed to be a grinder. He's a left winger. 6'7". Pretty big. He's got a long ETA for the NHL. What about this guy? 4 years. What about Subban? 5 years. Okay, so nothing really crazy. Let's go with this guy, 6'7", 223. Let's make the pick here. And he's a low elite. Perfect. How about that? 2 elites in back-to-back picks from a 50-50 chance. That's awesome. Now we're in the 4th round. See what we got going on in the 4th round here. I don't expect really anything at this point now. Let's take a look by potential. We have a 25% chance on some medium elites. Do we have any more of those low elites available, though, at 50-50? We still have Subban, so we could take a chance on Subban. I think we'll do it. Let's take a chance. 6'4", 205 defenseman, 2-way defenseman. Let's take a chance on him. Top 4 low, not bad. We're getting some pretty good potential, seeming that the guy before us was AHL top 6. So we're getting some pretty good potential here. Let's send him to the 5th round now. See if we can keep the streak going. All right, let's sort by potential again. Like I said, not expecting anything in his 5th round of the first year draft. There's really not going to be anything coming out of here. We're told to take Jake Schofield. He's 25% chance of being a medium elite. I highly doubt he will be. But realistically, there's nothing else in here that looks appealing. So let's take a chance. Let's go with the what the computer has to say for us. Jake Schofield. And he's bottom 6 medium, which isn't terrible for the 5th round. And I think I'm going to sim the rest of the draft because I really don't expect anything else to come out of this draft. So not a too bad of a draft. We got a top 6 medium right off the rip. And then we got medium elite goalie and then a low elite player. Not too bad of a draft if I say so myself. I think we did pretty good on that one. So let's go to the resign phase. Now, we did add the contract here, so everyone should already have a deal. But let's check our contracts anyways, just see what we have going on here. So yes, everyone does have a deal. So for centers, let's go by we're already going by overall. Perfect. So we have Stahl, Bavillier, Achari, and Sammy Blaze or Jace Hollerchuk, which isn't terrible center core. It's not too bad. I think we'll play Sammy Blaze just because he has the better potential. If we look at left wingers, we have Andreas Janssen, Lawson Krause, Scott Lawton, and Brandon Perlini. Our left wing core is very weak. We're going to have to do something about that for sure. Right wingers, Kalle Yarncroc, Joel Armia, Guryanov, Nichushkin. Also, our right wing core, not the best either, so we're going to have to do something about that as well. Defense, we have Giordano, McDonough, Larson, Carlo, McCabe, Fleury, Hayjack, Larson, Mueller. Not too bad. If we were to trade Giordano and McDonough, we would have Larson, Carlo, McCabe, Fleury, Hayjack, Larson, which is not very strong. But I'm tempted to keep McDonough around just because he's not on that bad of a deal. Giordano, though, he's getting old. There's no point in keeping him around realistically. And then let's look at our goalies. We have Tristan Jarry and Malcolm Subban and Thatcher Demco. So we got some good potential young goalies here. I think Subban will play down in the AHL. But overall, we have not a bad team. Let's check our draft picks real quick. So Sabrikin, top 4 low defenseman, not too bad. Hutchinson, a low elite left winger, not too bad. Schofield, bottom 6 medium. We got Dowd, who's a bottom 6 medium as well. We got this guy that the computer picked through the sim, and then our first round pick. 65 overall. I think we're going to let him play a year over in the Russian league, and then we'll check back with him next year. So we're not going to sign any of our draft picks just because they're not where they need to be overall wise. So let's sim up to free agency and then see who is available in free agency. Now, as I expected, guys, there really is no one in free agency that is available just because we added the contract year, so everyone is signed for another year. So realistically, we have no one here in free agency. I'll even check the goalies as well. Yeah, Chad Johnson's the best goalie available. So we have no one in free agency. However, I think we are going to try and work out some trades to boost up our wing core, being the left wing and the right wing. We are a rebuilder status, which was expected, and we're going to be a rebuilder for a couple of years. So I do want to trade some of the higher overall players just so we can kind of grow a little bit and try and get some prospects. Now, McDonough has really good trade value compared to Giordano. But I like the fact of keeping McDonough around. I like the fact of having that one prominent defenseman to cater towards our young guys. So let's take a look at shopping around Giordano. Let's see if anyone here wants him. It looks like Arizona, Boston. Who else wants him? Dallas wants him. Dallas is already at the cap, though. Florida would be at the cap. Nashville would be over the cap. Pittsburgh would be over the cap. St. Louis would be over the cap. Tampa Bay. So it looks like all the teams that would be contenders for the cup this year want him. Let's take a look at like Boston. Boston is out of our conference. They wouldn't need to free up cap space for him. Let's see what's really available potential-wise with Boston. I'm liking Jake DeBrusk. Jake DeBrusk, left winger, 82-22. He's on that rookie deal. Is it only one more year on that deal? Okay, it is only one more year on that deal, but he's 82. He can play already. He'd probably be our first line left winger, honestly. And his potential is relatively low. So that would be not bad. Bjork's not bad as well, 78-22. But if you're at 22, why even look at Bjork? I'd rather look at DeBrusk there. Other than that, Nick Ritchie's not too bad. Let's see if we can make a deal for DeBrusk. Now the trade value is definitely on our side. Let's see if we can get another pick out of that. Let's try and get their third round pick, maybe. Well, I'll try their second. I don't think we'll get their second, but let's give it a shot. Oh, trade accepted. Perfect. So we get Jake DeBrusk and a second round pick back for Giordano. That will help our wing core as well as our young core too. Now we are definitely going to have to sign some players because we are way below the cap floor, but that's okay. Now let's take a look if we were to shop around for let's say McDonough. McDonough has quite a bit of trade value, so let's see if we can shop around, find a team that could afford him potentially, and maybe they have some young core. Detroit wants McDonough. Now, that might be something we can take a look at. Now, let's take a look at Wiseman here. 82 overall, 17 years old coming out of the draft. He's already listed as a second-line forward. That's insane. He's got great stats all around. He's already got 88 deking, 4-star puck skills. That's crazy. This guy is going to be something else. He's going to be something else. Him and Dylan Larkin together, that's going to be a wicked center core for Detroit in the future. But let's take a look at potential-wise for Detroit, see if there's anyone we can really roll with here. Anthony Mantha's not too bad. Tyler Bertuzzi's also not bad as well. Tyler Bertuzzi's on a great deal. Let's actually take a look at that. How many years left? Oh, this is the last year. Unfortunate. But Tyler Bertuzzi's not bad. After that, there's really... Joe Velino's not too bad. Other than that, really, there's no one that I really want to take a look at. Like, if we're going for trading off Ryan McDonough, I'd be looking for an elite potential player. Let's take a look at Florida. Florida doesn't have any elite players that we could trade for either. However, Borgstrom 78-21 center. Owen Tippett, not too bad. Other than that, they really don't have any wingers that I'm really interested in. I'm looking for someone that's younger, but can still play in the NHL right now. Eli Tolvanen, left wing 77-20. He's got a lot of trade value, though. I don't think we would be able to work out something there. Same with Dante Fabro. Dante Fabro's got a lot of trade value, too. Medium elite, 81, 21 years old. Absolutely. Let's take a look at this. It's quite a bit off. I don't think we'd be able to work something in there, unfortunately. As for the rest of the players, there's really no one else I'm looking at. I'm kind of looking for, like, I'd only settle for really an elite potential player, you know. Let's take a look at Pittsburgh real quick. Yeah, no, Pittsburgh doesn't have anything either. Who else is interested? St. Louis. Does St. Louis have anything? Doesn't look like it. Tampa Bay. Do you want McDonough back, maybe? Yeah, these guys are just worth way too much. What about the Leafs? McDonough would be a great fit for the Leafs. Yeah, it doesn't look like it either, really. Like, maybe Willie Nylander, but that's about it. That would still be, well, we might be able to work something out here. Let's try Willie Nylander and maybe someone we don't need. Take a look here. We have those, well, no, I'd rather keep Sammy Blaze. Lawson Krause, maybe? Let's see. I kind of want to, because we have a lot of centers. Jay Solarchuk won't do it. We got some decent potential. This guy's low elite, but he's only 48 overall, so I don't think he's really going to grow anywhere. That would be pretty close. If we throw in maybe like, it might have to be a second round pick, but let's try a third and see what they say. Actually, we just got that Bruins second round pick. Let's try and throw that in and see what happens. Okay, rejected. Okay. Maybe if we switch to our second round pick instead of Boston's. Trade rejected. It's just too far off. Okay. Is there any players that they want that we can afford to give up? Look at our defenseman here. We want to keep Daniel Sprong. We want to keep Hayden Fleury. Maybe Brandon Perlini. What's our left wing core looking like now that we picked up Jake DeBrusk? We would have DeBrusk, Janssen, Rouse, and Lawson. So maybe we can afford to give up Perlini. Let's try this. McDonough, Hutchinson, and Perlini for Nylander. Still rejected. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get Willie Nylander. It's a thought, but we can take a look into doing that maybe later on in the season. Maybe if we're doing too good, because I know we're going to be rebuilders this year. Maybe we can take a look into trading some of our higher overall players for more young prospects kind of thing. But I am going to look at two-way players here real quick just to see if there's anything with potential that's not restricted. Like this guy here, he's 60 overall, 5 teams interested, 23. Why are 5 teams interested? He's 60 overall. I'm going to give him the max deal because we have the cap space for him, absolutely. Anyone else here? Ikonen doesn't really grow, but I mean, he's got potential. So let's give him an offer as well. Give that an offer there. Other than that, maybe Peterson or Peterson too. But now we're kind of slim picking at this point. So let's simulate to the start of the season. So Ikonen accepts our offer. So does Norby, which is awesome because he had 5 teams interested for some reason. And Peterson does as well. Perfect. So we're probably... Oh, wow. Look at this trade. So Eric Stahl, 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th. For a 1st, Robertson, a 3rd, and a 4th. Wow. What a trade here. Hold on. Take a look at Robertson real quick. Top 6 medium. 68 overall, and he's 19. So he is a prospect. That would take out our first line center. 3rd, 4th, and a 5th. We would get a 1st back, and we'd swap 3rd and 4th. So, realistically, you're looking at Eric Stahl in a 5th for Robertson in a 1st. Which isn't a terrible trade, but I think we're going to hold off on that for now. Like I said, later on in the season, we can take a look at trading our higher overall guys. I want to start the season off with this team, and then we'll go from there and see how it goes. However, we might have to sign some players. I actually know for a fact we will have to sign some players because we're definitely below the cap floor. So we're going to have to sign some players to some ridiculous one-year deals. Trade alert. Ilya Kovalchuk goes to San Jose, and Vancouver gets Joe Thornton. Interesting. Very interesting. So Vancouver's trying to bolster up their center core for the playoffs this year. Very interesting. I don't know if giving up Ilya Kovalchuk is worth it in Vancouver's case, but hey, if they're trying to go all in, then, you know, they have to do what it takes. So we're not going to set the captains yet. We'll do that in a bit here. But here we are. We actually don't have to sign anyone, which is kind of surprising because we are way below the cap floor. What are we sitting at right now for the cap? We're only 44 million, and we don't have to sign anyone yet. So interesting. Very interesting. Let's take a look at our lines. Actually, we'll do roster moves first just to see who's going to be up and who's going to be down kind of thing. So for centers, we have Eric Stahl, Anthony Beauvillier, Nolan Acciari, and Sammy Blais. We're going to send Jace Hollerchuk down. For left wingers, we have Jake DeBrusk, Andreas Janssen, Lawson Krause, and Scott Lawton. Who's in the system? Perlini, Moore, and Ikonen. What about for centers? Hollerchuk, Benstrom, Spacek, and Peterson. Okay. And then for right wingers in the NHL, we have Yarncroc, Armia, Nichushkin, and Gurionov. And in the system, we have Daniel Sprong and Noensen. So I want to get Sprong that first line AHL time. He is listed as a depth forward, so hopefully he has a good year in the AHL. For defensemen, we have McDonough, Larson, McCabe, Carlo, Fleury, and Hayek. And we're going to send Larson down, I believe. Let's take a look here. Actually, we're going to send Hayek down. Larson has top six role, and and Hayek has depth defenseman role. So we're going to send Hayek down. So that's our 6th defenseman we're going to roll with. And then for goalies, we got Jari and Demco. And then in the system, we got Malcolm Subban. Now let's check our defense in the system as well. We got Mueller, Hayek, and Norb. Okay. So let's edit our lines here. I'm going to choose best lines just so we can get a starting ground. No. Okay. So what we're looking at right now is DeBrusk, Stahl, and Janssen, Gurionov, Beauvillier, Nichushkin, Krause, Blais, Lawton, Yarncroc, Acciari, and Armia. So we're definitely not going to have Yarncroc play that low. We're going to have Yarncroc on the first line. We could have Janssen here. What if I move that around? So Lawson, Krause, Beauvillier, and Gurionov. I kind of want Janssen's second line time. I don't know about Krause, though. Can I have Gurionov, Beauvillier, and Janssen? No. Okay. What about Joel Armia? No. He just kills the vibe down there. Okay, Sammy Blais. Yeah. So Nola Char's going to have to play 4th line. Sammy Blais is okay on that 3rd line. I think that's what we're going to have to roll with here. I like the line of Nichushkin, Blais, and Gurionov, even though it has no chemistry. But DeBrusk, Stahl, and Yarncroc, that's going to stay. I'm not too over the moon about Krause on the 2nd line, but there's nothing I could really do there. Because if I move Nichushkin, it'll swap there, and same with Gurionov. That would stay the same. Interesting. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to keep that line how that is. Lawson Krause actually fits the second line perfectly. So we're not moving Lawson Krause, that's for sure. Let's check our defensemen now. We got McDonough and Larson. We got McCabe and Carlo. And then we got Fleury and Larson. So let's see if we can mess that around. I don't want to put Carlo on the third. There we go. We could do that. We do McCabe and Fleury, Carlo, Larson like that. We're not going to move that. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything's going to change. We do get a +3 here, but we get a +0 on our top pair, which we don't want. So I think we're going to stick with that. Let's check our power play now. Power play is both +1, so we're not even going to move them. Armia actually on the first unit. Interesting. Very interesting. We got DeBrusk on the point, and we got Yarncroc and Janssen on the point there. So I'm going to let the computer roll with the special teams. Let's check the penalty kills. Penalty kills is never really good, but that's okay. Yeah, like, I don't know why that's always like -1 and stuff, but that's fine. Then for goalies, we're going to start Jari and Demco. Now let's check the AHL real quick. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. I want Daniel Sprong to have a really good year. He won't if, what's wrong with this line, actually? That fixes it completely if we move Trevor Moore up there. And there we go. If we put spot check on the first line, that will help out there. Ikonen, can you go anywhere here? I think I actually like that more. Go with that. I want Stefan Noensen to play up, but he's already 26, so it doesn't overly matter. I'm not too worried about that. So as long as we got +1s there, let's check our defense real quick. Got a -3 from those two. That's not promising. We also don't have good best lines here because we didn't have Hayjack in, so now I'm going to have to change up first offense, which is okay. It is okay. We're going to go boom, boom. And Trevor Moore, you will come up here. Now let's try, what are we going to do here? Can we get a +1 on the second line? There we go. Let's put Ikonen in there. That should be good enough. Actually, we're going to put Kovalchuk there because he can still grow. So that's going to be our AHL lines there real quick. And then let's check the defense, which is not looking great. We might actually have to sign some defense to get something going down here in the minors. Because as it stands right now, the minors are not looking very pretty. So we might sign some defensemen. Get the minors going here. Check the power play. Okay. Could be better. And check our goalies. We got Malcolm Subban there. So I think I'm going to call it here. We're going to call it here right at the actually, let's sim through the preseason first. Let's sim through the preseason, and then I'm going to call it right at day 1. I want your guys' input if you see something that I maybe didn't see. If maybe there's a trade that you guys would like to see. There's a player you'd like me to bring in. Like I said, I don't anticipate us being contenders, obviously, this first year. So let me know with input. Let's go through this preseason and see how the team's looking already. Oh, a 7-0 win over LA. Not too bad. Already looking not too good, though, for our team. Let's see what's all going wrong here. 1-5-1 in preseason. Way to start off our league here. Eric Stahl, though, he's almost point per game, which is not too bad. Let's take a look at what's going wrong here, though. Sammy Blaze, he's got 5 points in 7 games on the third line there. Nichushkin's playing not too bad as well. Now, who is not playing very well? Chari's a -2. Armia's a -2. It's looking like we're, like, it doesn't seem like we're, like, allowing more goals than scoring, realistically. Our goalies, Thatcher Demco came in. He only had 3 shots. Tristan Jarry, not looking incredible. 292 and 898. Not the best 1-5-1 record. So, not looking the best, but like I said, we're not going to be contenders year 1, which is okay. So, like I said, let me know if you guys have any suggestions, if you guys want to see any players brought in, if you guys maybe have any trades you have in mind, kind of thing. That is going to do it for episode 1 of our NHL 20 Seattle Kraken rebuild. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe. Leave a comment down below with suggestions on what I should do in the next episode, as well as more suggestions on what should I do for videos, because I'm open to suggestions. I am wanting to expand my YouTube content, and I'm wanting to make more content for you guys. I also do stream on Twitch. My link is twitch.tv/yourboyzubat. It will be in the bio. Make sure you check me out. I stream every day at 11:30 Mountain Standard Time. Until next time, have a good one.